Opening statement, and we'll take questions.
Yeah, I started with just incredibly gut-wrenching disappointed. I just felt like we played really soft. I feel like we played really soft, and I felt like we played discombobulated, especially defensively. And they moved the basketball, and they passed the basketball and shared the ball. Obviously, statistically looking at it, you have 21 assists on 59 shots, 31 made. I mean, that kind of says everything about where we struggle today defensively. And I guess the only thing that I know to do is own up to it and apologize, because that's not Houston women's basketball. That's not. And I'm going to do everything and fight for everything that, to get it back to where obviously we need to be. And that's Thursday night, this coming Thursday against East Carolina. I'll take any questions.
With effort or lack of effort like this, do you see yourself making any changes to the rotation?
Chris, that's a great question, to be real honest with you. I'm not that far into it yet, to be honest with you. Certainly will be looked at, because our chemistry is, at least for today, was non-existent. And I don't want to do anything drastic or go into anything with a mindset of, well, we didn't play well today. Obviously, we didn't show up today, and only on one game, make a decision, a hasty decision, or on something that may not need to happen. But it's certainly will sort of be looked at. And to be honest, in 24, 25 years of me doing this, it'll all be back predicated on how they practice Tuesday and Wednesday. So.
Could you explain how they were getting so open on the three-point line?
I'm sorry, I did not know.
Could you explain how they were able to get so open on the three-point line?
Yeah, we didn't do a good job of talking. We didn't do a good job of jump two. We didn't do a good job of going foot to foot on the switches. We didn't do a good job of contesting the shots when we were there. And I mean, it's, I don't know. I guess maybe it's easier said than done. I mean, I know Danielle. I know Blag is a really nice player, nice shooter. But for her to just to kind of, we were down as it was, and then I think she just kind of took our heart. She hit 2 or 3 right there, back to back, and she was putting on a shooting clinic. And if we had any fight back in us, I felt like when she went back to back there, I thought it kind of just totally took us away from doing what we needed to do at the time.
If I'm not mistaken, it was 19-10 at one point when you called the timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that timeout, y'all were playing much better. So I switched to a zone, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And did you switch it up after that? Why didn't you put more? Could you explain how you couldn't play more zone, or did you play more zone in the second half?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, the zone takes away a lot of their movement, for the most part. But then, I mean, to me, it's kind of hard to play zone when you're shooting the three-point shots from so deep and obviously shooting it that well. So it's kind of a catch-22 double-edged sword. What I wish we would have done, probably more of is pressure and early. We were trying to grind the ball out, and we didn't do a good job of that early either. We were trying to do that. We always try to have somebody on the basketball no matter what, to move, to really make them work bringing the ball up, and we didn't do that. And I think that one of the bigger mistakes that I made, from a coaching standpoint, I'll put it on me, is that maybe we should have ran some more zone containment pressure, whatever, to make them work more shot clock, getting the ball up the floor. But for them to just be able to go by us, throw it ahead of us, I think the zone could have, I think it did work a couple times here or there, but I don't think that you can play Tulane and steady diet of it. I don't think you can survive that. Not the way they were shooting. When you shoot 55% from the field and you're shooting 50% as it is from 3, I can't sell that. I can't buy that stock.
At least one positive was the game from Alicia Smith. Let's talk about how she played second half. Or shot the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she got some of it late, but she's a competitor. She's never going to quit. I mean, that's the one great thing about Lily. You know, she's always going to compete. She's never going to quit. She's going to fight until, you know, we have to pull her off the court. And I mean, that's what she did. You know, I mean, we played so many minutes the other night, and I don't mean 1 ounce of that was an excuse of how we played today. But I'm just saying, we played so many minutes with P and Tiana and YT and Riss and, you know, and Marche, and played so many minutes that, you know, I mean, the game was over. I mean, I'm never going to give up. But I mean, as a coach, you have to use some common sense too. And so, you know, we took them out and left Lee, you know, to gain the experience. You know, if I'm not mistaken, you know, we had, you know, basically all freshmen in May as a junior, and, you know, let them gain some experience in a tough situation and be smart with it in both ways. You know, take them out so they don't get hurt. And I took P out the first time because I thought she hit her head on the floor, and it scared me. And so I wanted to make sure she was okay. And she's such a competitor. I mean, she came right up to me and said, I want to go back in. I'm going back in. I said, you can go back in. We'll put you back in at the next meeting. And we did. And so, but she did. To go back to answer your question more directly, yeah, she put on clinic because she's very competitive. We had a nice shooting workout. I had a good nice shooting workout with her the other day, or excuse me, yesterday, and she stayed in again later today after our walkthrough, and we shot some more. And so, you know, I think, you know, she's finding her way. I mean, she's a freshman and she's finding her way, and I thought, you know, she did a nice job to end the game, to finish the game out a little bit.
Coach, could you talk about Tyler Gilbert? She's played a nice game today towards the end. She's been playing throughout most of the season too. Games. Sometimes just talk about her game and what she's doing to get playing time out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tyler brings an element to the basketball team that, you know, that really we don't really have it at times. You know, as far as, or she brings another element as far as number one, depth, and then number two, I mean, you know, she's really coming in, I think, in understanding things better within the system. And I think when you know, you get, you know, she got, you know, everything happened so late for her. You know, from, you know, becoming eligible and doing those things that I knew it was going to be a longer process, you know, for her to catch up. And so, you know, I knew it was going to be post-Christmas, and, you know, to be honest, it's probably about right on the timeline that I thought it would be on. And I think the more she continues to learn and do in practice, you know, certainly I think these were huge minutes for her today, you know, regardless of the score. I think that, you know, the only way you're going to learn and the only way you're going to get better is to be put in the fire, so to speak. And, you know, I've been really proud of her. Been really proud of her, and she's kept her head up, and she's really been she's been a trooper through it all.
Anything else? Appreciate it, Coach.
Got it, guys.